Hello and welcome to round 11 of the PSF1 F3 Championship here, and as you can see there are cars sliding left, right and centre. It is raining for the qualifying session here at the Sepang International Circuit. It is overcast at the moment, but heavy rain on the way, and as you can see it's actually coming down at the moment already, so all the drivers trying to get an early lap in. Most of them going for the slicks actually, so at the moment it is going to be very slow times. I'm going to predict around 145, 146, maybe even slower actually, but the slicks in these conditions do not work well, so we'll see how well some of the guys can actually work them. And as you can see there, it's Void's Cod following round Voltex Aaron, and he may struggle today actually, because he's gone in pretty much not knowing what the weather's going to be, and a lot of these guys have had the same issues. Can confirm though that the race weather will start with light rain and it will dry up during the middle, and then the light rain will return towards the end of the race. We've got a yellow in sector 2, DRS has been disabled, that is at Voltex Aaron off, and as you can see that's actually Ols who's lost it coming out of turn 4. That's an interesting, probably just got a bit too much wheel spin, just waiting to come back on track now. Hopefully he gets going again, doesn't get disqualified. But a lot of guys sliding around here early on. And we were going to have Sean join us today, but he can't join the session, so unfortunately I don't think he'll be able to commentate with myself this evening, which is a shame. He's unable to join the session at the moment. Only 11 drivers unfortunately today. We've had a very nice weekend in England, that's for sure, so whether the guys are just enjoying the weather or not, I'm not quite sure with that one. And as you can see, a lot of drivers missing because of it. So begin to finish the lap now. KLT or Voltex Aaron has actually caught back up to the back of the Haas of Void's Cod. It is going to be a very slow lap though. And I just quickly tweak this. There we go. And a 150.9, and there you go. Instead of 146 or maybe slow, it's going to be a lot slower from these guys that are further back. And they're going to be even slower. 151 and a 152 from Void's Cod and Voltex Aaron. They'll be faster on the intermediate tyres at this point in time, but whether they actually get a run on the inters or not, we'll find out. But at the moment, the pole is a 150.9 from Araz. Very deep from Kingdom Martin. I don't think that's intentional. No, it is. He's going into the pits. Hits the wall actually. Milan has managed to join us. Well, he's 5 minutes later. He is finally in the session. It'll be interesting to see now what tyres these guys actually go on to. And finally get a decent lap in. A 150.9 is not representative of what these guys can do, that's for sure. Watching Trench gun into the pits. Very interestingly, he's lost his front wing actually, so I don't know where he's done that. But a lot of guys in the pits at the moment, and all the others just coming in on back into the pits now. Lily out the first to pop on the intermediate tyres. That's a very interesting line from Araz there in the Haas. And it is meant to be wet again for the start of the race, so we may see some of the guys struggle. Is he going to go for another lap? No, he's coming in. Definitely worth it. Worth coming in. Void's Cod only just off of pole, but I presume they will get quicker anyway. Lily out in the Sauber. Only 4 set of time on the slick tyres. Then of course we've got Milan as well that will come up onto the grid for the race, and he will join at the back of the grid from P12. Not too many cars to get past today, luckily for him. You see the spray at the moment that the inters are kicking up, and everyone on slicks would have struggled with that spray, and it wouldn't surprise me at all for everyone on the inters to actually beat the provisional pole time. Not particularly any sliding going on there. We see a lot of that with the more modern setups with the high ballast and the low front wing. There's been a lot of sliding, but Lily seems to be running a fairly stable setup. Doesn't seem to be too much sliding in that Sauber, that's for sure. Very wide though, coming into. That's the tricky turn 11 actually. Very tricky to spot that apex and get it right, that's for sure, especially in the wet weather. To the final few corners now. And this one's a tricky one, turn 14 to get right. You've got to be so careful on the brakes, and he's actually sliding a little bit there. Completely releases the steering lock, as you can see there. This is just his outlap as well, so... You can see that nice and deep on entry, gets the cut back now. Right on board now with Lilia. She takes her for a lap of the Sepang International Circuit into turn 1 then. Down into third. And then second gear. Trying to hug that apex on the inside, but it's so tricky in these conditions to get it right. Out of turn 2 then. What can he do up the hill? He's got to go down though into turn 3. Very tricky, full speed right-hander. Into turn 4 then. Spot the braking zone nicely. He's going to miss the apex there, but he's done quite well, and then just quite a wide entry really. Can he get it right coming through the tricky 5 and 6 section? He's drifting through 6. He comes into the tricky double right-hander of turn 7 and 8. Got to get this right. This will benefit you if you can get this right. A little bit slow maybe, a lot of adjustment on the wheel there. Into tricky turn 9. Off camber left-hander, very tricky and very easy to lose the back end there as well. Through turn 10, not really a corner here, and now turn 11 again. Can he spot the braking zone? A little wide on apex. In fact, he's missed it by quite a lot in the end. Into the last few corners now, again sliding through 12 and 13, and as he comes into turn 14, the back end just gives up on him. He's got to try and correct it, and as you can see, they're all over the place. He may still actually beat Araz. He's got 20 seconds to get to the line, so it will be close. To the final corner now. The easiest corner in the world, although it does look straightforward. And he is going to beat the provisional pole time here, Lily. He's going to go provisional pole the 1:47.2. And that just shows you how much quicker the inters are than the slicks. And that that's provisional pole time has been smashed. Marklin also coming up into the last corner. Try and find someone else who's close as well. Kingdom Martin is behind Marklin at the moment. And not quite sure where he's going with this one. He's got a grip penalty. Oh my goodness, and I'm not quite sure if that was Araz that he's made contact with. I'm not sure what happened there. But Ols goes fastest with a 46.5. Void's Cod is in the pit still. He's not come out. And he won't get a lap in now. That'll be him done. Araz has retired from the session. So I don't think he actually improved on that time, you know. No, he didn't. So a lot of guys sticking on the slick tyres with their best times. You just see Ols a lot quicker at the moment. That's Tezza going P2. He can get another lap in as well. That's the Lee in P4. His teammate Shane the Boss down in 9th at the moment, coming across the line to start a lap. Kingdom Martin is in AI mode, so not quite sure what's gone on there. And KLT, or Voltex Aaron, he's actually, is he behind Shane on a lap? No, he's not, so he's behind the Lee on a lap. No, the Lee's let him through, so hopefully it didn't affect him too much. He's going to come past his teammate now. And he thrived in the tricky conditions last week at Monaco. Of course, we didn't have a wet race up until a couple of weeks ago, where we had Austria, and it was rain there. And now we've had 3 in a row, so it's evening itself out now with the wet and dry races that we're having. But for the moment, he is currently P8. Needs to improve. I didn't actually see the second sector split, so we're going to have to judge it by eye. And keep it stable through 13. Looks fairly decent. On board into turn 14 now. Very stable there as well. He's going to get a little wide on apex. Not too bad there. Trench Gun's gone P5. Shane the Boss, where is he? He's quite a way back actually. The Martin's retired. He was in AI mode anyway, so he wasn't going to be improving. Can Voltex Aaron snatch pole position from Olds? He looks like he's going to smash it by a couple of seconds at least. It's going to be a 1:45.8. Smashes the pole time by 7/10. Olds in the pits as well. Tezza comes up to least half a second down though, going by the Delta timings. And Shane the Boss retires. Where is that? That's the Lee, sorry. Shane, Tezza, can he improve? Nope, he was indeed. He's a long way down in the end, 2.8 seconds. So we're just waiting on Trench Gun and Liliart then. See if these guys can improve. Trench Gun coming into the penultimate corner. He's half a second up on his time. Although there's not going to be enough. The Lee will still be ahead of him. A good 2 seconds in front. Very big difference in timings today. Marklin didn't even set a lap, so not quite sure what's gone on there. But Trench Gun now into the final corner. He's just got to get this one right, and then he's home and hosed. And he's actually pulled out of this flap, so it's an interesting one, considering the wear on intermediates isn't really significant at all. He's obviously realised that he can't actually jump the Lee, and he retires with that time. Liliart, however, he's actually lifted as well, so he will stay P4. Interesting qualifying session then. We didn't really see anyone go for it on that final run. There were a couple of drivers that did, but mainly just lifting off, saving the tyres. But it is Voltex Aaron with another pole in F3, 7/10 ahead of Ols. Tezza in third with a 1:46.9. Lily a further 3/10 back with a 1:47.2. And then we've got the two super soft runners, 7th and 8th, Araz and Voids Cods with 150 pluses. The lead, good qualifying P5, that's a personal best I believe for him. Shane the Boss, Kingdom Martin the slowest of the intermediate runners. Kingdom Martin might actually serve a grid penalty as well. Marklin didn't even set a lap in the end, so I'm not sure if he was struggling with setup or whatever was going on there, but we will have a 12th driver in the shape of Milan, and he'll join in P12 at the back of the grid for the Malaysian Grand Prix. So we just wait for the drivers to change their setups, strategies. I say change the setups, park firmly is of course on, so they can only tweak the front wing. That is literally all they can do to set up, so that might be needed with the intermediate conditions, and that is Kingdom Martin that will receive a reprimand or a 10-second time penalty. And unfortunately for him, he's done that a few times this season already, and it does mean that the setups and the strategies will be rushed, and they'll go onto the formation lap now. And hopefully get to grips with the track a little bit. It will be a little bit lighter than qualifying actually, because in qualifying it was heavy rain. So whether the track's any different or not, we'll find out. And they'll go off onto the formation lap. Kelsey doing his usual quick getaway. Try and get this to work. There we go. So there we go, the grid order, and immediately, actually Milan has actually got in front of Marklin because he didn't do a lap, and Kingdom Martin got a grid penalty, so there, he's actually up into P10 already. So that's an interesting one. As you see, they're all on the intermediate tyres, weaving around there, trying to get the tyre temperatures up. I expect them in around lap 8, between laps 8 and 10 off the intermediates, as it is due to dry up. And just warming up the tyres now, trying to get the tyre temperatures up. It will be interesting to see as well if these guys can actually keep up with the condition changes today. Of course, it's the lowest division in PSF1 that we have, but it doesn't mean these guys are any slouches. They know what they're doing. They have a certain way of going about it, that's for sure. Liliart in P4, potentially a dark horse in this race. Trench Gun as well, starting down in P6. I would expect him to finish higher than that in the race. But with it mostly being slippery and wet this afternoon, it could mean that we see a couple of guys lower down than expected, or higher up than expected. Shane the Boss in Milan, I would expect to pick up a few places. Marklin as well didn't have a very good outing last time in Monaco, having made a record 9 pit stops. Hopefully that doesn't happen again today and he can actually pick up some places. He's currently waiting on the grid for these guys. And we'll get underway very shortly here for the Malaysian Grand Prix here in Kuala Lumpur. And make sure you tune into the F1 stream later as well. Some wet conditions at the moment there. Currently that is wet all the way through. But we'll see how well these guys get away from the start, of course, because it is slippery on the grid, so whether these guys can nail it or not is now down to them. And we'll get underway very shortly for the Malaysian Grand Prix here for round 11 of season 9 in the F3 Championship here in PSF1. As they all sync up onto the grid now. And here they go then. 5 red lights, and away they go. It is a good start from the McLaren already. Ols having struggled off the start, as you can see there. They all head down to turn 1, all 12 drivers. Shane the boss gets the jump. Marklin with a good start there. He's already up a few places. As they come down to turn 1 now, down the inside is Lilia on Tezza. Trenchgun trying to go around the outside. The Lee also holding the inside line. Shane the boss picking off a couple of places as well. That's a dive from the Haas on his teammate. That's Araz and Voice Cod. Oh, there's contact in one of the Mercedes, I think. That is Marklin getting a bit close with Void Cod there in the Haas. Can they keep it clean now into turn 4? There's a couple of... Oh, there's a wing damage there on the Haas of Araz. That's probably from that dive bomb earlier on. And other than that, everyone seems to have got away pretty cleanly. Kingdom Martin trying to pick off early positions here. Marklin has lost a bit of his wing there. Yep, he has. The Lee still in front. Marklin trying to pick off places early up the inside. Turns 7 and 8 are not a place to do that, but they slide through without any further damage. And it looks like everyone's got away. Shane the boss has struggled here off the start. He's gone from... I think he started in 9th. He's gone backwards. He would have received a warning for that, and he's caused himself to spin as well. But it is KLC that leads, and he's already got a 2-second lead. Look at that. Ols trying to chase him down. Lilliard picked off Tezza as well in that first corner, so he's already into a podium position. But it will probably be a case of who can be the best of the rest today. KLC already gone for it. Void Cod has made up a position as well. He's just picked off Marklin, who seems to have... Oh wow, that's very unprofessional. And he's just caused contact with the Haas, so he will probably be pulled up on that one as he leaves the session. Angrily, I would expect, but is Kingdom Martin chasing the Lee now. Gets a much better run out of the final corner. The Lee defending the inside early on as they come down into turn 1 for the second time. What can he do around the outside, maybe? No, he's trying to hold it around the outside. Has he got the grip though? No, don't think he has. The Lee holds position for now. He's gone backwards a couple of places. It's one of the Haas is riding the curb there. That's Araz and Milan going into battle. And he's actually got past the Lee here, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. Whether it was just a better setup, more downforce. He's got through Voice Cod as well, making a move up on Trenchgun. Trenchgun going to get back past though into turn 5. Do not want to go side by side through here in the wet conditions, that's for sure. And he's sideways, Void Cod, and he's actually got up the inside of Trenchgun, who also has a wobble. They can make contact into turns 7 and 8, and they're both sliding. Trenchgun, I think, is off in the background, just about holds it. Kingdom Martin will now be chasing him down. As he just controls the slide there out of turn 8 into turn 9. Tricky in the wet, as you can see the back end just sliding out. Most of them keeping it together for now though. It's going to be the top 4 that we're going to be looking at mostly, I feel, at the moment. Well, these 3 mainly, the battle for the podium. Voltex Aaron already flying a 5-second lead in 2 laps. Very impressive indeed. No one's had to make any early pit stops as well, which is good to see. It means the pack is more compacted. We'll see a lot more racing from these guys. And Lily continues to close that gap now to Ols in the Ferrari. Been very good this season, Lily. Of course, F1 commentator. And he's doing a good job here. Voltex Aaron again going faster. And I'd be surprised if he makes a mistake or anyone catches him today. Lily just dropping back. He's obviously not got the greatest straight line speed. He's lost about 3.5 tenths there on the straight. And they're all sort of just beginning to find themselves now. No one really more than a couple of seconds away from one another, which is good to see. You've got Araz slightly further down. He's struggling a little bit. He's got that front wing damage though. He's got Shane the Boss behind him. He's currently in a point scoring position thanks to Marklin. But at the moment he's just trying to keep Shane the Boss behind him. He's has he got wing damage as well, Shane? No, he's good, so they are pretty much evenly paced. I'd say Araz is probably the quicker of the two, but he is right up behind the Haas now. He's got much more downforce with that front wing, so maybe Araz is feeling the effects of that low downforce. Shane's just going to hold position for now. Let's get back up to the front slightly, and Tez has just dropped off the back now. Gap's beginning to form. Little lift there through turn 12. Do not want to get on that curb on the outside if you can on turning. It will fling you round. He's got to defend from the Haas now into the final corner. I don't think he's going to be close enough though. Even if he went for a lunge, he's a mighty long way back. Well, he's actually gone for it as well. Tez has gone deep. And he's got front wing damage here, Tezza. I didn't realise that. He definitely hasn't just picked it up either, because it's on the right hand side. And Voidcod looking to the inside of turn 1. He's getting squeezed to the inside. And trying to hold it around the outside is Tezza. If they're going to make contact, Tezza's going to have the inside for turn 2. And he's played that well there, Tezza. I think Voidcod may have just received warning as well for corner cutting. Seems to take a lot of that curb. And possibly some grass as well. Sliding around in the background. He's thinking about a move, but he's just biding his time for now. Did he pick up any damage there? No, he's all good. It's all allowing Liliard to pull away up in front. Now got a 2-second gap. He's got a second gap in front of him. And you see Voidcod just having to control that slide as he comes out of turn 6. Very tricky. Right-hander, that one is uphill as well, ever so slightly. Shane still stuck behind Araz. He's going to have a look up the inside of turn 9. Not just yet. We'll skip back to these guys in a second. This is the one we want to watch for now, though. Is Shane going to have a look up the inside into turn 9? He's looking for it. He's going for it. Up the inside of the Haas. He's trying to hold it around the outside. They both take way too much speed. Bit of lag there from the Renault, but he gets through. I don't really think you can blame him there. He went up the inside. Araz just tried to hold it around the outside. Lower downforce. He's never going to make it. And Shane actually all over the place at the moment. Araz may be in for an early pit stop, unfortunately. Doing a lot of wheel adjustments though. That won't be making his life any easier. Almost looked like it was dry then for a second on board with KLC. He continues to push on. He's now got an 8.5 second gap. So come down the pit straight now. Lily taking an interesting line. He's trying to break the slipstream from Tezza, I think, possibly. And we've got a battle going on again. I think Shane has made a mistake somewhere, maybe. Because he was pulling away, and then he's obviously gone deep into the last corner. Or something along those lines. Kingdom Martin has now got right behind Trenchgun as well. I've not seen this one. Trenchgun made an error as well coming out of turn 3, and he's going to lose the position to the McLaren, which means the Force India driver is just continuously going backwards at the moment. Where did he start? Oh, he started 6th, so he's not going too far back, but Kingdom Martin, who did start right at the back because of that qualifying penalty, is currently doing well in P6. And Voidcod as well up from P8. He's currently chasing Tezza. A lot of inside grass rather than curb there as well. Trying to get a move done on the Red Bull. It's probably going to dry up in the next few laps or so. I'd expect another 5 laps before these guys actually pit. Is it actually still raining? No, it's not. You can see on the front nose there's no actual rain coming down. It's just spray at this moment in time. Find KLC, where is he? You can see there, no actual spray. No actual raindrops on the front of the car, so here you'll be in about lap 8, I would imagine. But we'll find out, see if the weather conditions improve quickly enough or not. No, Milan's actually caught the lead here. He might just have a look into the final corner. He's a little bit too far back. There's the physical gap between the two. He's very late on the brakes and he's gone deep, so he'll go for the cutback here. There's nothing wrong with this line, because it just means you can straighten the car up and get it going again nice and early. But he's getting a 10th or two. Oh, we've got a battle going on up front, and it's Voidcod again. And you see the back of Voidcod Tesla. We already had that front wing damage. And Voidcod is through. And he can now chase down Liliard. This is all allowing Kingdom Martin to catch up. I'm not quite sure if that was lag, or if he just managed to make two massive corrections. It was very interesting there, that's for sure. I wonder if he's struggling in these conditions. It's still going on between these two. So they come now. Oh, and that's Liliard's had an issue. He's had a slide somewhere, and now it's a four-way battle for fourth. Voidcod is right up behind the Sauber. Is he going to have a look into turn 9? Kingdom Martin's wide in the background. Lily tries to defend the inside. Voidcod is going to go for the outside. Very slow on entry because of that corner, and he may actually lose the position here, Lily, if he's not careful. Voidcod at the moment just biding his time, but he's going to have to get a move on here, Lily, because he's so close to the back of him. 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th all within 1.5 seconds really. And that's Tezza going wide. Has he lost the back end? I think he may have just held it. Yep, just about keeping it alive. And so four-way train now for P3. Trenchgun will be licking his lips at this as well, because he's only a second or two behind these guys. Voidcod has gone very deep. Liliard's going to try and push him wide. He's gone round the outside of the final corner. That's a great move there. Has he got the traction and the straight line speed now to hold that position? I think he has, you know. Goes past, still no DRS of course because of the intermediate tyres in use. Liliard going to have a fight back into turn 1. He's looking, but he's not going for it. Tez is actually defending from Kingdom Martin. He's struggling now with that front wing. Kingdom Martin is going to have a look down into turn 2. He does, and there's contact. I don't know whether we've got front wing damage from that. No, he didn't. They can make contact again before turn 3. So allowing Trenchgun to catch up. Tez has had a bit of a moment out of turn 3 as well. Liliard's going backwards right now. He just can't get the car together. And he really is struggling. Shane the Boss is in. I'm presuming that's for wing damage. There's no way he's going on to slick tyres, surely. Just have a little look here. Possibly the softs. Yeah, so he is going to slicks. That's a bizarre choice. And he's going to probably feel the effects of that, I would imagine, pretty quickly. Tez is still behind Lily though, and Lily just needs to get his head together here, concentrate on keeping the car in a straight line. We'll filter through turn 9 now. Very tricky corner, even in the dry, let alone the wet. And of course these guys, changeable conditions. The track is almost dry. It's still a bit greasy in places. And we'll see if KLC pits at the end of this lap. The track, as you can see, quite dry. No spray coming off the back necessarily. Stays out for another lap though. There's a big battle for 3rd place, and it's Liliard again going backwards. We missed that one then. Kingdom Martin up into P5 now. Looking up the inside of Tezza. Tezza taking a deeper line again, looking for the cutback. And Liliard does pit. He's all over the place. You can see a trench gun follows him in. Now I'm presuming they'll go on to slicks. The Lee also in, and the other Red Bull doesn't follow him. That is Milan, who now go up to P6. Araz is going to stay out as well. With that front wing though, he is going to suffer the consequences hugely. You just see how tentative Shane the Boss is on the power. See how much he slides. Nothing too badly. It'll be through here though where he feels it most. Very slow. Back end stepping out as well. So I would say that the slicks are not the tyre to be on right now. Let's see where these guys all come out. Actually, Lily's come out just in front. He's on the medium tyres. So he's done the right thing there, because they need the lowest operating temperature out of the 3 compounds that we've got. The super soft, the soft and the medium here this weekend. And Trench Gun, just so much speed around the outside. He's actually done Liliard around the outside, and as I was saying, the tyres, yes, lower operating temperature, but obviously he's just got so much better car setup, and he's just more confident in these conditions. He's just flowing around the outside of Lily, and Lily really struggling at the moment. unfortunately for him. Tezza, meanwhile, still keeping with Kingdom Martin. And if these guys don't pit, they're gonna lose a lot of time. Liliart's back past Trenchgun. Oh my goodness, it's all happening now. Trenchgun must have lost it through turn 5, which is the left-hander leading into the right. And they're just trying to adapt to the conditions at the moment. It is tricky. And as you can see there, KLC into the pits. And he will more than definitely go on to slicks. That is Ols staying out on the intermediate tyres. His tyres are going to be really, really worn after this lap. Very hot indeed. As KLC leaves the pit lane now onto the medium tyres. Good choice of tyre there. He'll come out in P2 behind Ols. As you can see, just coming around turn 1. He's going to suffer hugely. Void Squad into the pits, onto the soft tyres, I think, possibly. Nope, medium tyres as well. Tezza also in. He'll probably go on to the... Oh no, he's put inters on. So Tezza's made a huge error and put intermediate tyres on. And that's going to affect his race massively. Because he's going to have to come in at the end of this lap and put slicks on. So he's going to be 20 seconds down. Liliart's coming round into turn 1 now. Araz is well off. And the lead will just pick him off very easily. But Tezza's made a huge error, and although there's still a bit of spray out there, it's not going to be enough to cool those intermediates down. Milan's still out there. Trenchgun's got back past Lily again. These two going at it. You can see there's just a little bit of water still on the track. So we've got 3 that have stayed out. Sorry, 2 that have stayed out because Tezza's actually put on a fresh set of intermediate tyres. And as you can see there, bottom left of your screen, Race Control have enabled DRS, which will mean the rear flap in the rear wing will open up when they go over the DRS activation line, which is across the straight that leads up to the final corner and the front straight itself. It's a very good overtaking spot actually, the final corner. You set yourself up quite nicely as well for turn 1. But let's see all the gaps like. Tezza dropping back fairly quickly now. Yeah, he's losing a couple of tenths every corner at the moment. He's just fighting for grip. Ols into the pits then. He's done an extended stint on the intermediate tyres. Now, where's he going to come out in relativeness to everyone else? Soft tyres go on. Milan in as well. Has he done the right thing by staying out on these intermediate tyres? Personally, I don't think so. Very slow pit entry as well. Tezza's into the pits now, and he's hopefully got slicks on his pit strategy now. So see what he does there. Lily comes across the line. He's going to jump Milan here. Where is Ols actually? He's come out. He's well in front of everyone else, apart from Void Squad, who is right up behind him now. He's had a good start. He started down in I think it was P8. He started. Let's just have a little check. So yeah, down in P8, and he's up into a podium position. He's just going to see this slick stage out, and he'll get himself a podium. Kingdom Martin as well has done well. Up from the back into P4. Liliart's just going backwards at the moment. He really can't get that car together. Him and Trenchgun have been fighting for a few laps, although Trenchgun's back behind now. Not quite sure what's happened there. Ooh, starting to thin out a little bit now. KLC already with a pit stop in hand, and that's after 10 laps. Just shows you the pace he's got. He'll definitely be going up at the end of the season, that's for sure, into F2. With only 3 races to go after this one, it is beginning to get to the end of the season, and these guys will be thinking about promotion more and more. Of course, there is no relegation from F3. But it does mean that guys from F2 will come down, and as you can see there, Voltex Aaron with the fastest lap of the race of 43.6. It's already faster than qualifying. Oh, and that's Trenchgun over the curb, over the grass, and he's been done by the Renault of the Lee. And one of the Lee's just run wide a little bit there. He's got DRS as well, the Renault driver, so he'll be thankful for that. This has allowed Liliart to pull away now. Araz is actually behind Tezza. He's got a front wing now. And so is Tezza. Oh no, he hasn't, sorry. No, he didn't fix that front wing. That's very peculiar. It's interesting to see why he didn't change that front wing actually. Much tighter line there from the Haas driver. Obviously Trench Gun continuously making mistakes and making positions back up. He's got a little bit of pace about him. Just that consistency he lacks. Tucks up behind the Renault now, who goes defensive, chops back to the racing line. Trench Gun even up the inside. Is he going to make the move stick? Medium tyres are better in these conditions, but he's got the outside now with the soft tyre. Can he hold it? And I think he has. Oh, the leads of the wall! I think he just managed to keep it out. Wow, that's a fair play to him there. Did well not to get any wing damage. He's all over the place at the moment though. He just needs to settle himself and again on the grass. Sliding because of the dirt on the tyres. He's going to allow Milan. Oh my goodness. He's almost hit the Renault there. Milan sails past into P7. And he'll now be chasing the Force India of Trench Gun. Another fastest lap. 5 seconds quicker than the last one. It just shows you how much the track is speeding up now. Steady out. Drops the AI blue flagged Marklin. We're beginning to settle down a little bit now. So we're going to spice up again later though with the wet conditions coming back into play. Of course the question is for these guys, are they going to try and brave it to the end? Because the rain will come about it will start around lap 18 and then they're going to start to really feel the effects of it about lap 22. So whether anyone tries to brave it out or not, we'll see. It should be quite interesting towards the end of the race. Should bring the pack back together again a little bit. Those guys that struggled in the Inters phase versus the guys that are pulling away now in the slick phase. It will reverse itself again. We may see a couple of position changes here and there. But for now, it's fairly settled, and the guys will be just looking to put in the lap times and get as much out of the tyres as they can. We've got yellow in sector 2. Now, who's that? That's Lily, and it's just not going well for him today. He's off again. That's turn... Where is this, actually? That's turn... Yeah, turn 7. No, it's not. That's turn 6, sorry. So he's obviously just had too much entry speed, trying to nurse the car around. Hezza's going to catch him as well. Not gone well for him today, Lily. We've got yellow in sector 3. Void's cod is gone! Oh my goodness, how's he lost it there? Through turn, that's 12 and 13, I think. Yeah, so on the exit of 13, it must have picked up a bit of curb coming through 12. And he's put himself in a... Oh, he's so unlucky. He was in 3rd place, doing well. And he's put it in the wall. And that's what a lapse of concentration, or just a little bit too much confidence can do. Straight into the wall, which will push Liliart back up into P7, but at the moment it is Milan that's making up all the positions. Kingdom Martin as well, up from the back into a podium scoring position. That is a mighty effort from him. I can guarantee you the Voice Cod will be gutted with that, which means there are now no point scorers if they finish. There will be no non-point scorers, sorry. Everyone can score a point today as long as they make it across that finish line. Milan at the moment just loving life. P5 all the way up from the back. He joined late. We're enjoying this, that's for sure. Taz are currently 1.4 behind Lily, but I've got a feeling that Lily is going to start getting some laps together now, unless he's still struggling, in which case he's going to be going back even further. Tezza just picking his way past the lapped Marklin. Was not in the session. He's actually catching Lily a little bit here. But Lily's also catching the Lee in front, so Constantino effect there. We've got another yellow, and it's Lily again. He's off. And the Lee as well, they've both gone off. Lily takes advantage of it, goes past. Araz is also past as well. He's up into P7. They're all sliding off the track at the moment. Shane the boss is beginning to catch up as well now. That early pit stop seemed to have hindered him. But he's 7 seconds behind his teammate, who was in P5 at the beginning of this race. He's gone backwards. And it's just allowing all these guys to close back up again. Changeable conditions not suiting some of these guys. At the moment it's really beginning to show. Lee actually catching Lily again. He's 1.1, 1.2 down, but he's going to catch him there because of the grass. And Lily just doesn't look himself today. He's been up fighting for podiums for quite a while now, but he's struggling today. Shay the boss picks up 3 seconds. I believe that's the first one we've seen. Araz, I think, was the only one that got one other than him. Oh, and that is the Lee. I think he's just recovered it. Wow, that was a very abrupt movement there to the right hand side of the track, but he's held together. He's actually catching Lily very quickly here. He's not on the intermediate tyres. I can guarantee you he's on the slicks. They go medium tyres as well. Lily's off again. The Lee is off again, and that's what you get when you try and flick your steering. Trying to reverse onto the track, that's quite dangerous actually. He needs to just be careful. Doesn't hit his teammate, there you go, goes through. And Lily will be having a sigh of relief, I would imagine. They're just constantly going off through that corner. Just need to take it a bit more easy. Araz has picked them all off and up to P7 now. He's only 3 seconds behind Tezza as well. You can see there a nice variation of tyres. Medium soft, medium soft, medium soft is the top 6, and then it replicates itself further down. The guys on the medium so far have, other than Lily, have done well. I say that the top 3 have really shown that mediums are the better ones, and then as we go down, it's sort of mediums backfiring. So it's an interesting situation here. And another fastest lap for the race leader, a 1:35.4. He's almost got a 30-second gap, and we've only just gone past half race distance. That just shows you the amount of speed this guy's got compared to the others. That's nearly 2 seconds a lap he's pulling, and he's probably going to lap some guys pretty shortly. If we just look at the time to the leader, they go 1:16. And a lap is 1:36 roughly, so he's only 20 seconds in front of the leader, the Lee. Trench Gun beginning to close the gap now to Kingdom Martin. He's on the soft tyres. At this stage they will be quicker, but the rain is due any lap now. Next couple of laps is when I'm predicting it's going to start raining again. Gap down to 1.7 now. He is closing ever so slowly. Question is, can he get close enough and then overtake as well? The issue with these cars, of course, and especially a track like Malaysia where it is very high speed, and that very nearly spelled disaster for Kingdom Martin there, getting way too far over the curb and onto the rumble strip on the other side. 1.4 now is the gap. He is continuously driving the gap down. 1:35.0 from the race leader. Trench got sliding there, very quick with the downshifts. He actually lost quite a bit of time there to Kingdom Martin. Gets a run out of the penultimate corner. Down the straight now. Has he got slightly better straight line speed? No, don't think so. Just got a slightly better exit initially. Does seem to have a lot more confidence in the car though, Trench Gun. Gap continuously coming down. The Lee beginning to catch Shane as well, so those two teammates, I'm presuming one will let the other through. Keep it together here, Kingdom Martin. Needs to just hold his place. He's very wide on Apex though through turn 5. It's going to affect him through 6, and he's gone very wide again. Trench Guns, as you can see, they're holding the line much more tight. They actually lost time, so I'm not quite sure how he's managed that. No front wing damage on the Force India. 134.6, as you can see, they're continuously getting quicker. He's getting more confident in the car. And this battle, of course, remember, is the fight for the final podium spot. Let's have a quick look with these guys, what's going on here. And the rain has started. There you go, lap 18 as predicted. The rain has begun to fall once again, and it'll be around lap 22 where they were going to have to start to think about intermediate tyres. Let's see who will brave it though, if anyone. Of course, the guys on softs now going to struggle because the mediums need a lower tyre operating temperature. So we begin to see those guys pull away from the guys on the softs. Let's see if that proves itself to be correct. In which case Trench Gun should, theoretically speaking, start dropping off, but at the moment the line is dry enough and he can continue to reel in the McLaren, but for how much longer is the question. He's got the gap down to just over a second now. It's going to be this tricky section now, as you can see, lifting already, back end beginning to slide. Losing a lot of time to build up the revs again with the downshift. He's still there or thereabouts with Kingdom Martin. Fourth gear, trying to just get that wheel spin to a minimum. Lee as well, catching his teammate. Any mistakes from these guys? No, very clean at the moment, but the Lee is off and he's back on again. Kingdom Martin continued to be pursued. It's Trench Gun that is doing the pursuing at the moment. Araz has left the session, that's a shame. He was doing well in P7. Hopefully he can get back in the car. Get well under a second now. No DRS though for Trench Gun, that's interesting. Unless I just caught him where he was in the braking zone, in which case it wouldn't have been open anyway. Kingdom Martin must have made a mistake somewhere. The lead picks up a 3-second time pen. Not that's going to affect them. Can Trench Gun stay in that distance? And if he can, for how long is the question, because of course the conditions ever worsening now. But it seems to me that Kingdom Martin seems to be struggling with turn 6. Although Trench Gun drops back a lot in this middle sector, he gains it all back in the middle, in the final sector, sorry. It's a middle sector split. So just after turn 10, which is here. Just dropping back now, 1.1 is the gap. As you see, they're beginning to slide now, he's beginning to struggle in those soft tyres. I think they're actually catching Ols as well, 8.5 is the gap now. There you go, there is the move on the Renaults. He's obviously made a mistake there, Shane will let him through. And the Lee on the better tyre for the conditions is through, past his teammate. He is into a now 2-point scoring position. And they will catch Araz quite easily. Now Tesla's actually catching up to the back of Milan. At 1.8, going back up and now a little bit. Transcon's dropped right off here, so that just goes to show the soft tyres starting to wear off as well. Remember, because of course these guys pitted around lap 10, so beginning to come to the end of their life, which won't help. Continuously dropping back now, but Kingdom Martin is catching Ols, and obviously this is what I was talking about, the fact that the soft tyres need that higher operating window of temperature, and it's beginning to show now because Kingdom Martin is pulling away from Trench Gun on the softs and closing in on Ols also on the softs, so it is beginning to show. Gap was 7.8 I think last time round. It's continuously closing. Actually in AI mode at the moment, so not quite sure what's going on here. That's why he's losing time. Not sure what he's in AI mode, but this is all allowing Trench Gun to catch back up. Still in AI mode, and this could allow Trench Gun to get past. He will know that he's in the AI mode, and he comes back in just in time to defend the position. Don't think Trench Gun will be liking that too much, but fortunately, he's back in the car now, Kingdom Martin. Will he defend? Nope. Martin's ghost car coming out of the pits. He's gone deep here, the McLaren. He's got to be careful. The Force India is looking quick behind him. And that is the lead picking off Araz, but obviously he's in ghost mode. And that is actually the race leader, Voltex Aaron, coming through now. And he is flying. Picks up the DRS as well. Will he be in at the end of this lap? End of lap 21. No, he stays out for now. Because he feels he's got enough pace. Loses the back end ever so slightly. Back to the battle for the final podium spot then. I think both these guys are clean with time pens as well. Gap just stabilising now at just over a second. Needs to get on the intermediate tyres though, Trench Gun, if he wants any chance of getting past the Red Bull, sorry, the McLaren in front. See the back end just going. Taz is still holding that 2-second gap behind Milan. Of course he's struggling though because of the tyres he's on. More tyre wear as well on the soft tyres. And he stays out again, Kingdom Martin. Does Trench Gun pit? No, he stays out as well. Interesting then. They obviously feel they can get to the end. 6 laps remaining. The times will be really starting to suffer now. Does anyone actually pit? Let's have a look. Milan 18 seconds down, so he's basically got a pit stop to the car in front. Nope, he stays out as well. Interesting, these guys are staying out for the moment. Lilliard has just gone backwards, and it's gone from bad to worse really for him. He's going to go into the pits, so he's obviously seen that the times are dropping off, and he knows for a fact that this means it's intermediate time. He's got basically a pit stop behind him anyway, so he's just going to look to pick off anyone that could potentially go to the end. These guys will be very slow now though. Kingdom Martin has got that gap down from 8.8 to 6.5 now. Tyres beginning to do their bit, show their worth. And Lilliard is the first to rechristen the intermediate tyres for the second time this race. Of course, started on intermediate tyres and dried up, and now it's back to wet conditions again. You know, Trench Gun really starting to suffer. 4.1 is the gap. It was just over a second 2 laps ago. Now, this would be a good gauge actually if we go and find Lilliard. Oh my goodness, he's sideways! Is he going to control it? He does just about. Not really a good gauge by that, that's for sure. Just too quick up the hill. He's sliding all over the place. And Kingdom Martin continues to close the gap. Is he pitting? No. Ols is in the pits though, so he's obviously... Is he going to get a time penalty here? Nope, he comes in under the speed limit. And he's done well. So a couple of the guys realising now Trench Gun also in. So Kingdom Martin, is he going to be in trouble towards the end of this race? DRS has been disabled. It popped up in the bottom left just a couple of moments ago. Is Milan going to come in as well? Tez's 3 seconds behind. He's dropped off. The lead's starting to struggle. As you can see here, onto the intermediate tyres. Will Voltic's Aaron pit? That is a question. He's coming down the back straight now. He's got a minute gap to his teammate behind. 1-2 currently for McLaren. Is he going to risk it? Nope, he's going to play it safe. Coming to the pits. Intermediate tyres will go on. And the same for his teammate, who is quite a way back. As you can see here, it's still in the middle sector. But it's about how quickly can Ols get the grip in those inters going. Liliot's not actually going to gain here. He's actually gaining on Shane the Boss because he's going into the pits. Is he going to get past the Lee? Yes, he is with ease. Could get past Tezza maybe is here as well. No, he's too far ahead. So let's who's changed positions if anyone? No one at the moment. Trench Gun was of course fighting Kingdom Martin, but he stayed out. And he's the only one to stay out, and he's beginning to suffer. Is he going to go to the end? He's got a 19-second gap with just over 4 laps to go. He's got 5 laps to go actually. When he crosses the line, he'll have 5 laps, and he's gonna go into the pits then. So another McLaren pits, and the Ferrari now will give chase, and I think he'll get the jump back on the McLaren here. Be very surprised to see the McLaren emerge in front. Ols took out nearly 2 seconds on that lap. Very long, very slow pit lane, and Ols is going to breeze past here. It wouldn't surprise me actually if Trench Gun can come back into play here. The McLaren is dropped from the jack. He's back out into the pit lane now. Not a very long run to the pit exit, but it's going to be close. He's got to accelerate, of course. Here comes Trench Gun. He can see the McLaren in front. He's going to have the overspeed as well into turn 1. It's going to be closer. Look how much time he's gained back. He was 4 seconds, nearly 5 down when he pitted, and having pitted that lap earlier, he's gained all of that back. He's now back in within a chance of getting that podium spot. So we'll see if he can adapt to the conditions quick enough. Lily, I think, picked off place. Everyone on the intermediate tyres now. Kingdom Martin up 9. Trench Gun up 2 and Milan up 5. Done very well today. Everyone else has sort of dropped off or done what this man has done. And that is just put the lap times in and do what you can. Very well today. And he will take home another race victory as he did last week in Monaco. Trench Gun now then. He's had a lap to find where the grip is. He's going to be a bit more clued up as to where he can overtake, where he can find the grip, where he can accelerate and brake regarding trying to find time. And Kingdom Martin, of course, this is all new to him. The car is much lighter than it was at the beginning of the race. Can Trench Gun get any closer to the back of the McLaren? He's going to get a lot closer here because he's made a mistake coming out of turn 14. Can he get close enough in the next 4 laps? It's going to be the question. He's got a second to gain. He's got plenty of time left yet. Don't want to rush it. Don't think they'll catch Ols. It's just under 7 seconds the gap. Other than that, no one's really presenting us with a opportunity to go watch. And we continue to try and close the gap here. The gap is coming down between Kingdom Martin and Ols actually, but whether it comes down quick enough or not, I don't think it will. But we'll keep an eye out. And that is going to affect him badly because I don't think Trench Gun has a penalty. And having only just picked up a time pen as well, I don't think he's going to be able to pull the gap back out. You won't know, Trench Gun, that his competitor has that time penalty. But if he does get past him, then of course that just rubs salt into the wound. If he doesn't get past not the end of the world, he will still jump him on time pens. I'm pretty sure Trenchgun doesn't have a penalty. At the moment, I don't think... Did Araz get back in the car? Let's just have a little look. No, so he won't score a point because he's not back in the car. Shane the Boss still in the car though, and for Lee still in the car as well. And Lilia, who has just been lapped by Voltex Aaron actually. Trying to keep the car under control. It's not been a good day for Lily. Tezza is... I'm pretty sure he's not on the softs. There you go, on the intermediate tyres. Just had to double check as he did go back on the inters earlier on. And Trenchgun's got that gap down actually to half a second. No DRS of course, it was disabled when the rain started again. Tezza beginning to catch Milan though, I think. See what Milan can do, if he can pull away again or not. Gap seems to be stable around 3.2, 3.3 seconds. Can Trenchgun make a move on the McLaren in front? Will be for a podium position, of course. He's already got the position wrapped up though, as long as he doesn't pick up any time pens. And of course I just remembered as well, Kingdom Martin has actually got a 10-second time penalty for not adhering to the 2-minute prep period at the start of the race, so he will be 10 seconds further down anyway, so Trenchgun really doesn't need to worry himself here. Just can't do anything silly. Basically 13 seconds ahead of the McLaren. We've got a yellow in sector 1 and 2, and it is Lilia, and he's in the wall, and he's finally lost the rear right, front right even, sorry. That's coming out of turn 3 as a big incident, and it's not been a good day for him really. He's struggled throughout, and he's now going to finish outside the points. Having said that though, he's completed more than 90% of the race, so he will actually be classified in P9. So he will be able to... And, oh, I thought I just missed a move, but we are not. We're going to see it now. Trenchgun up the inside. Kingdom Martin's going deep. He's going to try and get the cutback now. And it's worked a treat for him. He's going to have the overspeed into turn 1. Although Trenchgun seems to have the better straight line speed here. Can he try up the inside? No, he's going to hold position for now. Try the long way around the outside. Can he make it stick? Switches back to the inside now. Gets a little touch from the Force India. And he's pretty much lost that position. Oh my goodness, what's happened there? Trenchgun's had a moment. He has had a big moment. And he's going to have to try and regain that time. Although it doesn't really matter because Kingdom Martin does have a 10-second time penalty and will be added to his race time. KLC comes on to the final lap then. And he's pretty much just done what he's needed to do today. Pulled more than 2 seconds a lap over his closest competitor, Ols. And that is pretty impressive. 28 laps with a gap of 1 minute plus. It's impressive indeed. So we'll switch back to him in a moment's time. The Trenchgun dropped right off there. Yep, 3 seconds cost. Tezza's actually caught right up to the back of Milan here. Apparently they're on slicks, they are not. I can confirm they're on intermediate tyres. Just check to make sure Araz isn't in his car still. Nope. And it is going to be a battle to the end. Can Tezza get past? It might actually be the race leader behind them. I think it is. So we've got a little bit of a guide as to where he is. He's gone wide here. They will get one more lap of racing as long as Voltex Aaron doesn't lap these guys. He's got 1 second to gain. He was 3.2 down a couple of laps ago. It's Red Bull versus Red Bull for 5th place. And he's gone wide, Tezza, and I feel like that's going to be that. He's going to get lapped as well by the race leader, which means he won't get the chance to challenge in the final lap. Unlucky for him. But it's Voltex Aaron that's going to take home the race win here. 28 laps of chop and change really, as he's let through by the other Red Bull. And they will cross the line in P5 and 6. It's Voltex Aaron though that takes the victory here at the Malaysian Grand Prix. And Milan was actually in front as he crossed the line, so he's actually got to do another lap. Unfortunately, Tezza will be gutted with that one because look how close he is to the back of him. Milan is still racing though, so he will have to do another lap. Ols still in the middle sector, he's nowhere near. Kingdom Martin has pulled that gap down, but not quick enough. Arazat won't be classified. Liliart will pick up 2 points because of he crashed 2 laps from the end. The lead picks up a few points for him, P7. And Shane the Boss will come home in the other Renault driver. And I'm not quite sure if this is just lag right now. Yep, I think it's a bit of lag. As long as he doesn't kill anyone, it's fine. Just needs to hurry up and get to the line though. Hopefully there's no one behind him. Nope. Nice bit of lag there, and in the wall, very nice. He finishes P8. Ols comes across the line, a very, very distant second indeed. And to be honest, he was, as we said at the beginning, the best of the rest. Comes home a minute 10 behind the race leader. And it will be Kingdom Martin that takes home P4, because he has not only jumped on time penalties for corner cutting, he will also receive a 10-second time penalty for pressing X at the beginning of the race as well. And Milan, who was inches from being lapped, has had to do another lap and will come home in P5. And there you go, crosses the line to finally finish P5. Both Red Bulls getting a decent points haul today. That will help them in their bid for F2 promotion at the end of the season. 3 races left after this one. And we're in Monza next week for the Italian Grand Prix. That'll be a good one. It's very nice weather, I would assume, for next week as well. So no rain in that one. But it's Voltex Aaron that takes home the race win here today. A commanding victory, to say the least. And we only had a couple of time penalties, really, which is pretty good to see. Good to see the guys keeping it clean and not corner cutting. But you have to say, Kingdom Martin up from the back to P3. Tremendous. Trench Gun gets P3. Kingdom Martin up from the back to get P4. Still a good achievement. And of course, Milan, having not qualified at all, getting P5 from 10th is a good achievement as well. So that's it from us for this week. Hopefully, we'll have Sean or Dougie in the commentary box as well for next week. Lots of overtakes up for the Italian Grand Prix. Lots of straights, lots of straight line speed. But for now, that is it from myself. And we'll be back with you next week, same time in Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.